It's okay.
Yeah.
Eat 'em up, yum yum.
It's okay.
Eat 'em up, yum yum.
Yo, what up, fam? It's your boy JC, the hip hop junkie. Vinyl Beats and Eats. Another episode. Not just another episode. Got a special guest today. Got these tacos right here. You know how we are. Part of the show. We got to talk about it and everything like that. And before we get into with our guests, let's take a quick break with a word from our sponsors. Yo, this is that part of the show where we like to give out flowers to our sponsors, for believing in us, being down with us. Shout out to Big Cash over that side hustle. Shout out to Tommy Kennedy over at Flatline Design. Shout out to Manny at Moonshine Records. And shout out to Broadway at the label. Yo, quality work right here, man. These cats, telling y'all, I stand by them 100. Y'all want to get with them and know what they do, check the description box. Got all the information right there. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. Setting it up for y'all. One love. Yo, back. Man, blessed today, fam. Blessed today. Blessed today. We got an icon here, man. And I consider an icon, a pioneer, OG, a staple in West Coast hip hop. So allow me to introduce, man, DJ Chris the Glove. Yo, Chris, man, respect for coming through, my man. Yo,
That was a great intro.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hip hop, the West Coast, Chris the Glove is. Gotta know. Saw Breaking. You saw, you were in that mix, Ice-T, everything. Chris the Glove is, been doing it for years. So, but, yeah, man, fuck, about time. Man, I've been trying to get him in for a minute. Busy man. So, by all means, got to do what he's got to do. So, but again, got you here. You're here now.
In Pomona.
In P-Town.
Just so y'all know, we
P-Town.
are in P-Town.
Yeah. So.
It's not, it's LA, but it's not LA.
Yeah. We're the last of the LA. Before you leave, once you leave Pomona, then you're in like the IE or whatever. But
so I live on the other end.
Pomona's a cutoff. Right
Hey,
there,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Pomona's a cutoff from LA County. So you get busted out here, you still go to LA County. You don't go out there to San Bernardino. You go to LA County.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah,
trying to incorporate them. I've done like Orange Show and Fontana, but it's fall.
Right. So, yo, Chris, this is part of the show. We got our fans always want to know what we're eating and how it is. So let's take a quick, bite, eat real quick, and let the fans know. I already know, most of them know, but the guests need to know what Chris Glove thinks. So I'm about to jump in right now.
You gotta jump in now. And these tacos are so good, y'all. So while he's killing that taco, I'm gonna tell y'all about me. I started in LA in 1980 as a DJ, which there were no DJs. So there was Jammin' Gene, the disco machine, and the Michael Califani was Disco Daddy.
Okay.
So, and Disco Daddy rapped too, so he's a rapper too. But at this time, he's a disco. Disco is it. So they're disco DJs, and I'm growing up in another world. It's not disco. It's funky, but it ain't that. We take the breaks of the disco records and we break dance. So it's breaks. B-boys are boys who dance over breaks. Most people don't know what B-boys stand for. Everything stems from the DJ. So B-boys are break dancers. They break dancers because they dance when he does the break. The DJ will extend the break and the breakers go crazy. Am I right?
So that's what they got. Yep. That's what they get breaking. So
that's what B-boys are.
Yeah.
So I'm a break mixer. So that's pretty much when I play records, I pretty much I'm a break mixer, but I'll let some of the songs. These days, I let the song play because people sing them. But back then, you could catch a lyric from me rarely. That's why rappers like people wanted to MC when I'm DJing because I ain't letting no words come up really.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting the intro and the break.
You're on the break, yeah. Oh, okay. Yo, fam, just to let you all know, man, just a little, like you said, follow up on Chris. You know, he was Ice-T's DJ back in the day. If you hear a lot, he's Ice-T be shouting him out all the time. Chris the Glove, breaking. But for me, it was, and a lot of motherfuckers don't know this shit. So only real motherfuckers do know this shit. But it was for breaking and entering. That was an underground, like, documentary type of thing of breaking back in the day. And there was a lot of footage of the street scene, and there was a lot of footage of different shows and stuff like that, where there were just areas in LA where there was crowds and people were breakdancing. And then clubs or whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of footage of Chris and Ice in that documentary, and it was one of the fucking dopest documentary. It was crazy because this kid I know, a friend of mine, when we were kids, I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, and had it on VHS.
Yeah, it was like a mystery. First it was a legend, and then it was a tape.
Yeah,
and it was like, come on, get the tape.
Because we were hearing about it. He got it.
Can't find it nowhere.
He got it, and we Chris, we watched that motherfucker over and over. We were practicing moves and and it's crazy because again, you have you in there. There's a scene where you're the DJ in the back, and Ice comes out and he's like, God, I hit popping and not stopping, and it was like, I was like, wow, but yeah, that was a shit. But I remember, that's where I was like, okay. And besides the music and stuff, yeah, but for me as a kid, being, opened up to that shit was dope, man. Fucking Unique Dominoes on there.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That was arguably the first documentary about hip hop, either that or Star Wars. They both aired on PBS like the same week.
Right.
And then you couldn't find it nowhere.
No, cause I missed it, and everybody was talking about it. I was like, fuck it. And we finally got it.
It aired in 83. You was too young.
No.
When was you born?
I was born in 71.
You would have known about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I told you, I was like, had to be like 6th, 7th grade. I remember that.
You ain't lying. You was looking for that. It was like a secret.
We didn't.
A rite of passage almost.
Only certain people caught it, right? And then they were talking about it, but we didn't have no fucking playback back then. When it aired, man, and it was something like that wasn't, a rerun.
Right, that was it.
Yeah.
And on PBS, bro, the only thing you saw more on PBS was Sesame Street.
Yeah, like learning things, Electric Company. Electric Company. Great Space Concert.
You hear that, boy? Man, let me tell you, boy, these tacos are unbelievable. Shout out to
El Pablo, El Poblano.
And I just found out he got I don't know if he talked about it through exposure, but
my wife, she
shout out to her.
She went out and got us.
We all need one of them.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, I remember that. That shit was a shit, yo.
It's crazy, right?
He's also again worked with Dre. Besides other things, Snoop, Doggy Dogg World,
Stranded on Death Row and Chronic. Yeah. I worked on California Love, Tupac. I introduced Exhibit to Dre. I did a lot of songs and stuff.
No, really, Chris is fucking, he's been in this shit for a minute. He's holding it down. Like I said, was talking to him earlier, and I was saying, like, guys like him and Tony G and Julio G, these guys, Lonzo, these guys are like our cool Hercs of the West. Absolutely. These guys are the ones
Uncle Jam's Army,
Uncle
Big
Jam's
Daddy Productions,
most definitely.
Capri Club, Z Cars. That's all the LA stuff. Then they had
Arabian Prince,
Pretty Boys. What was that stuff in Pico Rivera we was talking about? It was crews they had. They had DJ crew names.
It was
like the sexy boys or the pretty Tonys.
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
like
There
that.
was
They were hot ass DJs.
yeah. It would what was it? Back in the day, there were like party crews.
And then the others were like, what's that? Quiet Canyon, QC.
QC.
And then it's another one right between here and there. That
Florentine Gardens.
Then Florentine was it. It was Florentine and Tropicana when they weren't doing the girls. We used to DJ at Tropicana too. Then it became just mud wrestling, which was fine with us.
Was it Don Quixote's?
No,
that was one. There was one.
Yeah, I remember Don Quixote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was one. Yeah. That's more like toward this way.
Yeah, it was like no, it was
Solo
and Olympic.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Solo Olympic, yeah.
But I do remember going
Kennedy
to
Hall.
I used to go to the hamburger spot over there. What's the thing called? Tommy's. Well, Tommy's was the first place on Rampart.
Ooh.
When I saw Latinos driving Ferraris. And not Latinos, but specifically Chicanos. They were straight, you know, those clubs were Mexican clubs.
Right.
Like specific, like Salvadorians wasn't there. You know, and then other people mixed in, some of us, some whatever, all kind of nationality, but they were back. Like Paradise was a black club.
Right.
We had other people there, but mainly it was that. So I'm at Tommy's, they pulling out Porsches, Ferrari, Porsche, motorcycle, katana, like 10 dudes on bikes with the whole fit to match.
Right.
I'm like, these motherfuckers got money. Where they coming from? I met the girls was,
yeah.
I was like, whoa, I love this life. Yeah, so LA, that's what happens when you eat and drink when you're on a show, you're going to burp.
But it's okay, though. My family's used to this. This is what we do.
I'm going to do it.
You know, we eating, we're smacking, like I was telling everybody.
Yeah, man. But, so, there was no such thing as a DJ, really. Not what I wanted to do, cut and scratch and mix. Right. So, I had to learn, as we were talking on the ride over, about the equipment. I didn't even know the term turntable. I knew that there was a stereo unit in my mom's house. That's furniture. You open it up. It's a record player, a tuner, a place where you can put the vinyl. Right. You can stack them and they would drop all the time.
Yeah, the arm would drop them.
This shit was as big as that big ass piece of furniture.
So many 45s on there.
Imagine DJing with those two big ass Marantz stereos.
So that's what you were fucking with, Chris?
Bro, I was trying to figure it out, right? Oh. So I went from there. So I started going to Radio Shack. At Radio Shack, I learned that platter in there was actually a turntable. Right. Because I had seen also on components at the record player with the speakers, you know, plastic top, that shit. So I was like, that, and then I started seeing turntable, but not that. It was they had some kind of, not technique, some kind of table at Radio Shack. And it had a mixer, but it had knobs.
That was the first realistic, right?
Yeah, so I was learning on that.
Yeah.
So,
I remember that.
Yeah, that's 1979. I'm doing that. So at the time, I'm on this mission, right? So I figured I went to college to be a rocket scientist, and I was in aeronautical engineering, and then I was all into Star Trek. So I feel like we should have spaceships that can come back. So I wanted to design that. Then here comes the space shuttle. Same year was the first launch of the space shuttle, so I quit school. And I was in LA like, oh, what can I do? And so God was like, be a PJ. So I was like, okay, what's that? So then, after fast forward back to the mixer, so I had to follow this pursuit. I quit that school, went to junior college. Okay. So at SMC, I get in a broadcasting program. I'm still trying to figure this DJ thing out, right? Or maybe I should be on the air, right? Right. And so I get a student loan. So I got the student loan, and then I get a job at Burger King. So I'm working at Burger King, and a friend of mine that worked there, he said, man, why are you always late coming across the street from over there? Like, you could be here instead of there and be on time. Like, I see you go there an hour ago with your uniform on. What's going on? It's a Radio Shack, and I want to be a DJ. And he said, oh, I'm a DJ. So when you young, I was 19 or 18, some shit like that. No. 79, I was 17. And he said, I'm a DJ. And he was from New York. Yeah. I was like, really? You know, you believe everything everybody says as a kid. Yeah. They ain't gonna lie to you.
It's older than you, yeah.
Yeah. We were the same age, though. I was like, oh, okay. He was like, I'll teach you. I'll show you. Come over after work, same day. So we work. I go over to his house. He don't live far from me. So I'm at his house. He lives in a nice neighborhood too, apartment with his parents. You know, we kids. And he pulls out turntable, right? So I had seen that, like, oh, okay. But his was a Techniques. No, I'm sorry, back up. He pulled it out. Remember I told you the component set? Pulled out one of them. Blah. Took the plastic off. And I was like, okay. Then he pulled out, so that's a record player. Then he pulled out a turntable. I was like, oh, that's Techniques. It was an SLB1, had the knob.
Right.
Belt drive. Very important. So
that's what we're talking about.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Those over there are direct drive quartz. You can't even make them stop spinning. You can put a quarter on there and it'll melt the side of the quarter pretty much.
So you're talking about put a brick on it?
Fuck right. So 1200. So this is actually, it's a trip because the numbers are SLB 120 and that's the 1200. The 1200 is the actual quartz version of the 120. They're exactly the same except they got a lever for this one. Mm-hmm. They got a knob for pitch on the other. So anyway, the problem with the belt. So anyway, let's finish his story. So Tony pulls out a mixer, and they got crossfader. It's all faders. Remember, I had only seen knobs.
Right.
I was looking at that shit like, what?
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, where'd you? Okay, so I just shut up and let him finish. So he starts making me this tape, bro. He's mixing these songs and blending them. He don't scratch or none of that, but he's just dope. He knows pitch.
That's like. Scratch wasn't really.
It was nothing yet. It was
so it was about the blend. It really was.
It was from disco, so it's still disco. Right. You know, put a train in there.
Like it was one record.
Yeah, make it one record all the way through. Yeah. And man, raise the intensity to the end. So he's killing, right? So then I go, okay, dope. So now I leave his house. I got this tape, and now I got a visual of what I need. The record player, he'll put a record on there, then he put the double over here and change the pitch to match so he will put a record that he didn't have a double of on the record player because he didn't change the pitch.
Right.
Then he blend in the next record that he had a double copy of, so he could put it there and then change the pitch. Right. I was like, this dude is smart.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So okay, but I picked out what he was doing too. So I was.
And it was kind of it's what you wanted to do.
Well, that's the only way you can make it work, bro. Right. And then also, see me, I slam records. I can blend. I do some tricks now with the stems separation, but I slam records together because I get more energy like that. When you just drop a record on boom, 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 it's like that's what the intro is for. So I use the energy from the record.
Okay.
But the point was he showed me this, so I got this tape. I got a visual. I go back and I tell my dad, I know what I need. I got this loan. Can I get 2 turntables and this kind of mixer and some speakers? He said, yeah. So we went over there. I got my turntables, 2 of those SLB ones, and I got my mixer, you know, a Gemini or a GLI, something like that. And then I was off. And then I bought a year, maybe a couple of months later. Now it's 1980 mid. I start DJing, right? I'm playing records. I'm not scratching. I'm just putting them together, and I'm scratching because The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash and the Wheels still came out in 1982. Mm-hmm. When that record came out, I got it, but I had already been playing records, and I had figured out I wasn't really scratching, but I was. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of I got that beat. Yeah, I was kind of doing it like
because you're just playing with it to get on beat.
Yeah,
not into the mix,
right? But not out loud like as a presentation, right?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So when I got the record, I was also a Billboard reporter, so I got everything early, super early. Like remember we were talking about DJs working for a radio station. Well, I was a DJ where it was working for Billboard magazine. There was only 2 in every city. I would get this many records a week. That one side top corner,
right,
every week.
Wow.
For like 7 years.
For a DJ, that's fucking.
Bro, I used to. So you heard of Prime Cuts?
Yeah.
I sold them most of the records they sold y'all. Like, I was not so much as a reporter when Fat Beats came around, but I would have been the guy giving them all their records.
Remember Exodus Records?
Yep, Exodus.
That's what we used
Downstairs Records out of New York.
We used to fuck with Exodus because it was out this side.
Yep. Fat Beats lately because when I got back into the hip hop.
So when you start DJing, right? What's the first 2 fucking records that you blended? If you can remember back in, what was the first 2 records you blended?
So, for some reason, me and this Grandmaster Flash record, the years were clashing because I started actually trying to learn mixing. 17 turned 18.
Right.
It's 1979. No, wait. I turned 17 in 79. So I'm 17. So 1980, I'm 18. My birthday's in May, so it's the summer. A year later, 1980, I'm doing house parties already. I'm playing.
Yeah, but what are the 2 joints that you?
Well, I'm trying to think. I think that
that you can.
So, well, this is what I can tell you. The first time I did house parties and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
But the thing that's mentally that I burned in my memory is the first time I played in front of a crowd, which was at a picnic barbecue in front of 800 people. I played Grandmaster Flash and Wheels of Steel live. I took the same records that he used. I did another one, Bites the Dust, blah, 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 whatever the fuck he played.
Right.
So the first thing I remember playing, because I did all his moves, because nobody had seen anybody do that but Flash.
Right.
So I'm out here doing doo 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 doo, and they're like, "Oh shit!" They never seen this.
Right.
So I remember another one, Bites the Dust, and Good Times. Those are like the first records I think I did, like in front of people. Oh, and into the rest of them things he had on there, like he had 8 Wonder and some other shit. I played all them records because I figured that people knew that arrangement.
Right.
And so I would be performing it.
That's fucking dope.
And that's how I came up.
Yo, fam, you heard it right here. Glove. Chris the Glove. We're right here with the fucking legend, man. Man, Chris, I just wanted you to come on, hang with us, bullshit with us,
Have
eat,
some tacos.
bullshit. Let the fam get to know you, you know? You know, they have to. Like I said, we have our pioneers, you know? And got to reach out to them. You got to let everybody know who they are, you know?
Yeah, that part.
You know, so.
A lot of guys.
Fam, you already know. We're about to be entertained right now by Chris the Glove. He's about to spin some shit. Went into the fucking record. Went into our records over here. Pulls out some shit, so I'm excited.
Made it sick.
So here we go. You already know.
This taco up first, though.
Here we go. Hit that link. You already know. Jump with us to Instagram. That's how we get down. Oh. Go to the bathroom. Get something to drink. Get something to eat. Roll one up. Jump with us on the next one already. You already know Instagram. We're about to jump in it with Chris the Glove, man. Chris the fucking Glove. Whoa. We're doing this shit. Holding it down. Vinyl Beats and Needs. Your boy JC, the hip hop junkie. Here we go. One love.
Yeah. Eat 'em up, yum yum.